Hello my friends, I'm here to bring you a different kind of video and I'm hoping that it films okay. So this is me going to go through an older collection that just has a little bit of paper and a bunch of scraps and see if I can make some page kits and I can still utilize some of the collection. So the collection I have here is Kiwi Lane, Merry and Bright from 2015. And usually they gave you enough to make one layout and 2 cards, but they gave you 2 different examples of a layout that you could possibly make. So I have some left from the Merry and Bright kit, and it usually came with 2 double-sided background sheets, 4 coordinating patterns, and so it wasn't a big collection to begin with. And the other one that I have left from Kiwi Lane from 2016, that's the same type of kit, 2 double-sided background sheets and 4 double-sided coordinating patterns. And then they gave you 2 examples of a layout and 2 cards. You could usually make, I think, 1 layout and 1 card, but then you had a lot of scraps. And I have used this kit, and I don't know how much I've made from it in the past, but I want to kind of go through it and see what is left. First, we'll look at the whole sheets of paper. This one is from Joyful. It's some really pretty colorful dots, and on the back it is a solid red tone-on-tone. This one is from Joyful, and it is a snowflake kind of on a teal background, so that's very pretty. I like that side. And then this side is kind of like a gold open pattern. I really prefer the snowflake side. Then I have a couple papers left over from Merry and Bright. This one is Falling Snow, and it's a grayish tone-on-tone, and it looks like sort of like snowflakes. And then on this side we have a very light blue stripe, vertical stripe. Vertical, horizontal, sideways. You understand what I'm trying to say. The words elude me for that today. And this one is also from Merry and Bright, and it's called Swirl Storm, and it's a red tone-on-tone, and then you can see like little swirls in the paper, and on the back it is a grayish brownish polka dot. And so those are my 4 pieces of paper, and then I have a bunch of scraps. And some are big and some are small. So this is kind of my scrap pile. I have a little baggie here that has some stars in it. Different colors and shapes of stars. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate them into piles based on which paper they might go with. Okay, and so here I have a little gold pattern or red pattern heart paper. This is like a red tone-on-tone paper, like a reddish pinkish. It's not my favorite side, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but for now I'm going to sort them into piles. Here is a green tone-on-tone, kind of looks like a little diamond pattern, and on the back is kind of like a jade green with a bigger open swirl. And so here's some more of that, and you can see the pattern on the back. Here I have a red swirl, kind of a darker red, and on the back is that orangish reddish, pinkish reddish. Not quite sure in this light what it is. So I'm putting all of them into piles based on color. Here I have a little piece of ephemera. I'm going to put it with that baggie. I have a small piece of the green. I'm kind of keeping my favorite sides. This is some striped paper. And then on the other side, that one's different, but this one has some flowers, and that's just some kind of pattern. I'm going to keep it on the stripe side for now. And so I'm sorting them off to the side. And and I'll bring them back when I go to use them. So real quickly, I'm just gonna finish up sorting these. So the stripe, let's see. And then we have some other paper here. And the Kiwi Lane kits always came with like sentiments to use on, if you can see these sentiments to use for cards or for your layouts. And I'm just gonna separate these for now onto the paper that they match. And so now you're seeing another paper that we have here, which is this lighter blue with the red polka dot, and it has like sentiments and or titles. You could be most wonderful time of the year, season's greeting, jingle all the way. For now, I'm going to put them on the polka dot side. So you can see I have lots of little scraps. And this is how, when I have a kit with all these little pieces, that I start to figure out, can I make some layouts out of it? And so that's how I start to separate it. Here's another piece of that stripe. And so, yes, here I'm sorting, and it's probably kind of boring, but it's the process that I go through. Now, here's a piece of paper we haven't seen. It looks like snowflakes in circles, and then on the back is a horizontal zigzag. So I can use it for this side, or I can cut out the ones of these that are still entire snowflakes and use them for embellishments. So I'm going to put that one aside, and then I have, well, this goes with that, this goes with it, that's that polka dot again, that's the red paper, and let's see, this paper is all the same, and you'll see on the back, so I have a fairly good sized piece of this particular paper. I haven't used much. And on the back of this one, you will see that it is kind of like a tone-on-tone green and kind of a sweater pattern. And I actually really like this side. Right now, I like both, but I think I'm gonna keep it on this side because I think it will coordinate the best with what I have. And then I have, that's probably the zip strip that came with that. Part of the zip strip. I have just I do keep the zip strip part that have the title, Merry and Bright, because I could cut that and use that as a title. So I tend to keep those. And then this is the paper that we have not seen that was probably used on another layout. So these are a couple of zip strips. And so what I'm gonna do is take and make page kits and kind of show you my process. I'm not gonna make an entire page kit, but I am gonna go through and see how many layouts could I possibly make from this, and what am I gonna try to pull in with it to help make my page kit. And so I think I will start with one of the bigger patterns, and one of the ones that I think is just very fun and whimsical, this one. Remember, this one has the colorful circles on the one side and it's red tone on tone on the other. I am going to choose this side because it looks fun and happy, and I could use it for some of the kids' layouts that I've been working on, and I think I could make it work. And then I thought, this green piece, I'm not really wanting to use this darker pattern. I think I like this really bright, little bit brighter, or more of a sagey green that goes with this. And I thought I could pull in a couple of these stripes. And I probably will do some inking to help separate them. And I thought, well, that would be good. And I like to, excuse my reach, I'm trying to reach in front of me. I have some plain black and white paper in front of me. I like to take my layouts and border them. And this one I would most likely border in black. It picks up on the little black that's already in the pattern. And I think that really helps it to pop. So I might put some black in here. And so that is a start of a page kit for me that I would most likely pull together and make a layout. And as I was looking, I didn't go through all my photos. I will probably do that at another time, but laying right on my desk was one photo that I did have, and it's this photo here of Lucas with Santa Claus. And every year they went to a Christmas party, and they would get a picture taken of my nephews and nieces, well, they're great nephews and nieces, with Santa Claus. And I thought I could put that up on black. I probably will mount it on white, and then I'd have a little bit of white and a little bit of black, and that will help it stand out and bring that color in. So that's kind of my start of a page kit. And then I was thinking, okay, so this is about Santa Claus. What could I pull in that will help? Excuse the crinkle here, but I have a Cocoa Vanilla Studio Merry and Bright die cut ephemera pack. And this was given to me by my good friend Moira one time when I went up to visit her. And this has some very whimsical, and to me, some things that looks like that it would go with this kit, and so, or this layout about Santa Claus. And so I'm just gonna, what I usually do is, because I think the colors will match fairly well, you know, there's Santa Claus, I really like that. There's a tag with Santa Claus's sleigh, and you know, I would save, like, here's an ornament, and here are some, you know, some other big things like a wreath. Those I will save for another type of layout, like poinsettias and flowers. They don't tend to go with this particular layout, so I'll save them for something else. But what I think I would really like to put in with this layout, I would probably like to put a frame down here, perhaps, for a cluster base. And this frame I'm going to save for a snowy layout. Oh, Santa's sleigh and presents. So I'll probably either use this or this on the layout. I probably won't use both. These hearts are nice for last minute embellishments. And I have a Christmas tree here. I kind of like that. And ho, 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 that might go on this particular layout. I'm going to use, I think these tickets go really well. I think the colors, though they're not a perfect blend, you can see that they do tend to blend. You know, you have the green here, you have the teal here, and, you know, there's a couple shades of red there. So I think that that's going to work. So as I go through these embellishments, you know, I'm saving the houses for another time, the flowers for another time, you know, most of this, but anything that reminds me of a visit with Santa Claus, I'm going to put into this layout. Let's see, what else do we have? Joyful, that's possible. We're gonna save the flowers for another layout. We're going to save the ornaments for another layout. Fun, a visit with Santa is always fun. There's another Christmas tree. Merry, oh, I like merry better instead of joyful. And so that is going to be a kit. Is it everything there that I need? No, but it's mostly what I need. So that would be, don't need that holly leaf though. That would be one layout. And so I'm ready to set that aside and look at another piece of paper and see what else I can come up with out of this leftover page kit. Oh, and I also found the title, Hey Santa. So let me pull this back in. I found the title, Hey Santa. Sorry about that, Reach. That I thought could go up on the top, and it should show up here on the green. It might show up there, but yeah, so that is my first page kit with some embellishments. A lot of what I'll need, but not everything. And so then I thought I would look at, let's see which piece of paper. The snowflake paper, this teal paper, and on the other side it was kind of this open gold lattice or grid and I really like the snowflake paper. And I remembered that I have a paper line, and let me pull it here. Excuse the reach. I'm not used to filming a video like this, but this is what, this paper was left over from the Kiwi Lane kit. Well, these little bit of scraps is all I have left over from, you know, little bits and pieces from, I don't even know if I know what this is. Oh, here we go. Jolly Border Strips, Echo Park Paper Company. So it looks like a little bit of leftover maybe from an Echo Park Paper Company line. And so in here we have some trees and some Santa Claus, and I'm going to save that for another layout. But in there I had the snowman sticker, and it's a Winter Wonderland and the snowflakes, and I have this little baggie that has a journal box that I like. So here, let's keep it. The journal box that looks good with this layout. It has looks like a sort of some fussy cut snowmen. There's several in here, so I don't know if I'll use them all, but you can see there's several here, a fussy cut snowman, and then it has some word strips that look useful. And excuse the crinkling, but this says building a snowman, so that's good, and that matches. Warm winter wishes, snowy day, cup of cocoa. Well, the cup of cocoa I'm going to save because I'm building an embellishment kit that is for cup of cocoa and decorating cookies. So I'm going to put that aside for that kit. And so this is a partial building of a kit. And I thought I would pull in, let's see, trying to remember if I was going to pull anything else in with that kit. I think I was going to, I think as I look at this, for now, I think that's just where I'm going to leave that one. Because I have embellishments, I have a main piece of paper. I'm going to have to look for coordinating paper. And as I look through what I have here, I don't see anything in particular quite yet that I want to use. So I'm just going to kind of leave that one right there for now, and I will come back to it. But it just kind of shows you how I start to think and how I start to separate out all these little pieces. And next I have this snow pattern paper, and it's kind of a grayish brownish paper, and it kind of looks like it's called Falling Snow. And on the other side is this diagonal light blue stripe. I'm going to pick it for the more neutral side. And I thought with this particular one, I'm thinking, what could I use with it? What would benefit the most? And I'm thinking that this might be good. I have this strip of trees here. I have this border sticker of lights, and so it could be a page about decorating the Christmas tree. And so here I have a border strip that I could use maybe at the top and the bottom of up and below the trees. So I'm thinking that will kind of coordinate with this page. And it doesn't mean I have to use it. It just kind of, okay, they go together. There's another one in case I need it. And this is kind of the border strip that matches that. Probably don't need it for this, but I'm just going to kind of keep it there for now because that kind of helps me to coordinate with it. And then with this, I have a little baggie of things that went with that paper line from earlier, and holiday cheer. I kind of like that. Okay, so we kind of got a tree theme going on. This is a nice little journaling box that we can use that has a house, and I cannot read those signs, but it's nice. So I can journal on that. That's the word joy, and you can see the stars go together, and it's the same color. This one says home for the holidays. I'm not sure if I can use it, but I am going to keep it with this kit. This said the stockings are hung, and I'm going to save that for a different page because I know that that I won't, I have a page about stockings. This says cookies for Santa. I'm going to put that with my other kit, put it aside. Ho, ho, ho. So that's more about Santa than decorating the tree. And these are the collection line. This was an Echo Park line, Holly Jolly Christmas. And so I saved these, part of the zip strip, or the identification strip. So I will set those aside because they don't kind of go with this. This says Happy Holidays. It's a sticker. So I'm going to use that. And so that's most of the little embellishments I have left from this collection. As you can see, we're down to the very little. I have Oh Christmas Tree and Happy Holidays. So I'm going to put that together. And so this can be about decorating the Christmas tree. That's kind of how I envision this page. And of course I can pull other things into the page as we go. So now I have 3 pages decided on. And so, hey, I think that's a good start. And now we have our last full sheet of paper. And it is the Swirl Storm, and it's the red with the swirls through it on one side and kind of the gray polka dot on the other side. I am going to pick the red side because I love that bright red color. And with it, I am going to put this paper. I don't know, they just, because all the red that's in the ornaments, they just kind of, to me, that just kind of pulls out that red of the ornaments. Now, will I use this whole piece of paper? I am not sure. It is a large piece of paper. Remember, this one has the kind of sweater pattern on the other side. I might be able to use a little of both sides, but for now, I really like this side. And usually, if I even have a little tiny strip, I just kind of keep it until I know I no longer need it. So I'm going to place it with the paper and go ahead and use this. So this is probably going to be a page about perhaps decorating a tree also, or Santa, or the tree when it's done decorating. And now these are not meant to go together or be companion pages. This is just kind of what I envision me using these papers for. And so as I look at these papers, I kind of make a decision, okay, what would I use this for, and how am I going to go ahead and utilize this? And so that's what I decided I would do with this page. And as I go looking through my stash and things I want to use up, I have this Santa. Well, I guess he might work on that page. I don't really love him there, but I want to use him sometime this December when I'm working on Christmas pages. So I kind of have him hanging around until I find the perfect page, because he's so holly jolly looking and he looks perfect for a children's layout. So I'm keeping him around till I find a place to put him. And so that's kind of what I'm doing with him. But I also found in my collection of stickers this, and they're really losing their stick. So I need to use them and get them on a page. And I see stockings, and I see a Christmas tree, and I see a wreath. These look like, I'll turn it around, these look like Christmas cookies. So I'll probably put them with my Christmas cookie page. And I could see that using the stockings for the stockings were hung. this is for a Christmas tree and ornaments. You're decorating the tree or decorating the house. So I somehow think I'm gonna either do a page about the stockings were hung and the tree's all decorated, the house is all decorated. So I am going to put this together for now and see what I can make of it. And so that is going to be a 4-page collection. Those were the 4 full pieces of paper that I had. And so now I'm going to take a white piece of paper and look at what I have left of that collection. And mainly what I have left is this red swirl, and on the other side it's a darker, deeper red. I tend to like the darker, deeper red side. And this green. And so I'm trying to figure out, do I want these two together, or would I use it on this side? And so that's something I have to figure out. And I have a whole stack of all these little strips of, that's a zip strip, and these are in the Kiwi Lane pack. They do have things to make cards or to cut out and use on a card or to use as a scrapbook layout title. And so I don't know which side I'm going to use this on. So I may end up just switching it to this side, though that's not my preferred red color. It just definitely isn't. But I'm thinking I will go ahead and keep everything on this side and pull in this green and see what can I do with these strips of paper that I have left and make this into a page kit. And so will I use all of these pieces? Probably not, but I might. I tend to do that. And then what I have remaining is this blue. Now the red and the blue, they kind of match. I'm not sure. Would I use them there? And on the back we have this, the most wonderful time of the year. Now the green goes very well. It is a bit darker red, but I'll see what I can do with that. I kind of like that there for now. Jingle All the Way. These colors go. The green goes very well. The red we can make go. I have this little red embellishment, and so we're pulling that little darker red in. I think I have 2 of those. I just don't know where the other one went to. Oh, I did find it. And so this page kit is becoming kind of the leftovers. And if I cannot use them on this particular page, because here we see Merry Christmas, and here we see Season's Greetings. I don't know if you can see that, Season's Greetings, and then we just have this little piece that I'm not quite sure which way to go with it. I have then just this striped paper that I think I will put with one of the earlier pages that had striped paper, and I'm pretty sure I can get one more scrapbook page with these scraps. The only other thing I have left is I have this paper. It's very bright, diagonal, horizontal, wave, and the one side with all the colors of the kit. And then it has snowflakes on this side. And I'm just going to set this aside, and for whatever page needs embellishments, like maybe that snowflake page needed a little bit more snowflakes, I might use that there. Or the page kit that I just made, maybe it needs a little bit more color, because actually I really like that there. So I probably will use it up in either this page or use the snowflakes for the earlier page. And so that's how I took 2 kits, one that had very, very, very little left, and I ended up with 5 page kits. And so I am going to then move forward and see what I can do with these page kits. And I just bought a new printer because my printer, the ink absorber was full. Never heard of such a thing. But it absorbs, they're like sponge pads in the machine that absorbs the ink, and they become full. And I Googled about what to do with that, and it said, well, you can take them out and rinse them, you can replace them, but then you have to be able to reset the internal counters, and a lot of people said that's not a very easy thing to do. The printer was very, very old, so I decided during Black Friday to get a new printer. And so I am going to then probably look through the photos I have printed, and if I don't find something to go with these pages, I will then print some photos to go with these pages. And I look forward to seeing these 2 kits of paper that are, well, actually it was 3 kits, but the 2 I had together, and the one was just, you saw, was scraps, and see if I can make 5-page layouts. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed this process video of just my thoughts as I go through some paper kits that I have very little of, and I hope that then when I finish the layouts, we see where we went. All right, thank you, my friends. Happy scrapping.